Hello everyone, Tom with Capo Fetish. Today, let's talk about some really cool one-hit wonders of the 80s. I have chosen 10 of my favorites. When we're done, put your favorites in the comment section. So let's start it off here. A great track from 1984. I still love this track. I love the guitar sound on it. Now, I think they had one other hit in the UK, but this was their only, I believe, top 40 hit here in the US. And I'm talking about Icicle Works, A Whisper to a Scream. As mentioned before, it came out in 1984. Not only is it a great song, this is a great album. The album is titled Icicle Works, self-titled. And another great track on here is the second track called In the Cauldron of Love. Another one called Nirvana. The whole first side, I think, is really strong. Lover's Day, A Factory in the Desert. Now, that second hit that I had mentioned is called Love is a Wonderful Color. That was not a hit here in the US, but it was a hit in the UK. But I've always loved this track, From a Whisper to a Scream. In parentheses, it says Birds Fly, but it is Whisper to a Scream by Icicle Works from 1984 on Arista Records. And I believe it's still in print, this album. Check it out if you haven't heard it. It's fantastic. I've always been a big Nick Hayward fan, and dating back all the way back to his first band, Haircut 100. The song, of course, Love Plus One is an absolute classic for me. Just infectious pop, guitar pop. And I think a few other tracks on here got some airplay back in the day. Favorite Shirts is one of them. But here in America, I think the only real hit from Haircut 100 was Love Plus One. And I still think it stands up. It's fantastic. And if you've never heard Nick Hayward, he has a lot of great solo albums. This is my favorite of his. It came out in 1993. It's called From Monday to Sunday. Just a real gem of an album here. If you're a Nick Hayward fan, never heard of it, check it out. If you're not, check it out as well. There's a song on here that got a little bit of airplay back in 93 called Kite, which is just a fantastic track. But really, the whole album is really good, especially the first half. Very strong. This is Nick Hayward's From Monday to Sunday. And as we talked about previously, Haircut 100, Love Plus One from 1982. Just a fantastic one-hit wonder. I think they only put out one album. This was it right here. Called, what is this called? This is called Pelican West. Another great one from San Francisco. I saw this band open for, I think it was possibly Big Country. Back at the Hollywood Palladium back in 1984, early 1984. And I love this track before I even saw this band open for Big Country. I'm talking about a group called WiTrain. They're from San Francisco. They have this song called Chamber of Hellos, and it is so fantastic. Got a lot of airplay back then, but I never even hear it even on streaming channels to this day. If you've never heard it, check it out. Chamber of Hellos, this is kind of like a 33 and a third single. With another song called I'll Do You. But yeah, fantastic stuff. Look it up, check it out. Chamber of Hellos from WiTrain. They're from San Francisco. This came out in 1983 or 1984, I believe. Another great one that was a really huge hit here in America. Back in 1985, a top 40 hit. And I've always loved this track. It was, it is said it was kind of a eulogy to Nick Drake. It references the winter of 1963, JFK, the Beatles, etc. I'm talking about the Dream Academy, Life in a Northern Town. Fantastic little track here with those really infectious vocals, that chorus of vocals during the midsection, or the chorus, should we say. Just a really great track. Other people have covered it, and that is another fave of mine, the Dream Academy, Life in a Northern Town. A band from, I believe this band is from, I think they're not Ohio. It might be, I'm not sure. Not sure where they're from, but I love this track. And they had two really good albums that came out in 83 and 84. They started out as a punk band and then kind of softened their sound, made it a little more jingle jangle, a little more power pop, a lot more of that variety. I'm talking about the Red Rockers, a song called China. Great one-hit wonder. But also, again, another great album. This came out in 1983. This particular track was played constantly, I remember, on K-Rock back in the day. But I really especially love the next album that came after this one. It's called Schizophrenic Circus from 1984. And this has some really great kind of psychedelic tinge tunes on it. One that ends the album I really dig, called Burning Bridges, which kind of has a Tomorrow Never Knows kind of vibe. But yeah, Red Rockers, the song China. If you've never heard of this particular album, Schizophrenic Circus, check this out as well. This is a really, really fine album from 1984 or 1985, I believe. When I heard this track, it sounded really fresh in 1988. I could have swore it was the Chuckies in Love singer. God, what's her name? Rickie Lee Jones. Rickie Lee Jones. I could have swore this was Rickie Lee Jones when this came out. The vocals really reminding me of that, and that whole kind of phrasing. I'm talking about Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians, the song What I Am. Huge hit back in 1988. I remember seeing Edie Brickell and the New Bohemians at the Wiltern Theater back in around 1989, mid 1989. And singer-songwriter Steve Forbert opened for them. And I always remember it was one of those concerts where the mix was absolutely perfect. The Wiltern does have pretty good sound mix and great acoustics. But great show by Edie Brickell. Great album too, by the way. This is the only album I ever bought by them. A song which really always hit me hard on this album was called Little Miss S, kind of a tribute to the Warhol scenester Edie Sedgwick. Edie Sedgwick. Great little tribute to her in this particular track, Little Miss L. A lot of other great songs on here. The Wheel, Like We Do, Love Like We Do, Beat the Time. Very, very strong album, but they're kind of known as just a one-hit wonder. She has now been married to Paul Simon for decades now at this point. So What I Am is another favorite one-hit wonder track from the 1980s from me. Another band from San Francisco had just a killer track that was released around 1982. The band's name is called Translator. The song is called Everywhere That I'm Not. They have kind of this birdsy, chimey kind of sound. This was really the only song that they were really known for. The album it's fair. It's not a terrible album, but I've always loved that particular track. If you've never heard it, pull it up. It's by Translator from 1982. The track is called Everywhere That I'm Not. I'm in Nova Scotia, but I'm not. Or you're in Nova Scotia, but I'm not. That whole kind of thing. With the lyrics, fantastic. Translator from 1982. Another great one is a guy that pretty much played John Lennon in the very early incarnation of Beatlemania on Broadway back in 1978. But he's more than just a one-hit wonder. He's written tons of great power pop songs. He's even now, I think, semi-replaced Pat Denizio in the Smithereens as lead singer. I haven't seen that lineup of the Smithereens yet, but I'm talking about Marshall Crenshaw. The song called Someday, Some Way. Top 40 hit back in 1982. He was at the time, he was kind of featured as the next big thing. He never really quite caught on in a big way. But he's a fine songwriter. This is a power pop classic record right here. He's also put out a lot of other great albums over the years. Very prolific. But that one track, he's also, he'll always be known as kind of a one-hit wonder in the wider spectrum of music. But he's way more than that. Fantastic songwriter. Again, Someday, Some Way from Marshall Crenshaw. Another favorite one-hit wonder, but he's way more than that to me. From 1982. Another one from Ohio. This band is from Ohio. The Waitresses. I Know What Boys Like. Featuring Patty Donahue on lead vocals. She sadly passed away at an early age at 40 from cancer. Too much smoking, unfortunately. But I've always loved this track. I love the instrumentation. I love the chord changes in it. It's silly, good fun. I never did see the Waitresses live, but what I've heard, they were really a great live act back in the day. But yeah, I Know What Boys Like. Always loved this track. This is from 1982. Definitely a one-hit wonder. I know they did other stuff, but they're mainly known for this track. And they did have a Christmas tune that was known as well. So the Waitresses, I Know What Boys Like from 1982. Another power pop classic I'm going to end the show here with from 1982. This guy's put out many albums, but he is definitely classified as a one-hit wonder. This was a huge hit back in early 82. 867-5309 by Tommy Two-Tone. So infectious, still sounds timeless, fantastic power pop. So there you go. There are 10 of my favorite 80s one-time or 80s one-hit wonder faves of all time. Let me know what your favorites are in the comments section. As always, thank you for watching. If you dig the content, all you have to do is just press subscribe. Thank you very much, everybody. Talk to you later. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.